Hello everyone. Welcome back to Technical EduHub. In today's video, we are going to learn about system calls in operating system in a very simple and easy way. System calls are requests made by programs to the operating system for performing different tasks. They act as bridge between user applications and operating system. They help programs to access hardware, manage files, create process, and communicate with OS. Now let us understand the different types of system calls like process control, file management, device management, information maintenance, communication. Process control system calls. Process control system calls are used to manage processes in the operating system. Now first understand this clearly. A process means a program that is currently running. For example, when you open Chrome, Calculator, or MS Word, each application becomes a process. The operating system uses process control system calls to create, run, and stop these processes. Now let us see its functions. Create process. When a user opens an application, the operating system creates a new process in memory. For example, when you click on Chrome, the OS creates a Chrome process. Execute process. After creating the process, the CPU starts running the instructions of that process. This is called process execution. For example, when Chrome opens websites and loads pages, the CPU is executing the process. Terminate process. When the application is closed, the operating system stops the process and frees memory resources. For example, closing Chrome terminates the Chrome process. Wait for process. Sometimes one process waits until another process finishes execution. For example, during software installation, the system waits until setup is completed before moving to the next step. Real-life example. When you open Chrome, operating system creates the process, loads it into memory. CPU executes the browser. Process stops when Chrome is closed. So, process control system calls help in smooth multitasking and efficient CPU management. File management system calls. File management system calls are used to manage files and folders in the computer system. These system calls help users create, open, read, write, and delete files. Now let us understand each function clearly. Create file. This system call creates a new file in storage. For example, creating a new text document. Open file. This opens an existing file for reading or editing. For example, opening a PDF or Word document. Read file. The operating system reads data stored inside the file and displays it to the user. For example, viewing notes stored in a document. Write file. This stores new data or updates existing data inside the file. For example, saving changes in MS Word. Delete file. This removes unnecessary files from storage. For example, deleting old images or videos. Real-life example. When saving notes, operating system creates the file, stores data into the file, saves it in storage memory. So, file management system calls help organize and manage data efficiently. Device management system calls. Device management system calls are used to control hardware devices connected to the computer. The operating system acts as a bridge between software and hardware devices. Devices include keyboard, mouse, printer, monitor, speaker. Now let us understand its functions. Read device. This reads data from input devices. For example, reading input from keyboard. Write device. This sends data to output devices. For example, displaying text on monitor. Request device. Before using a hardware device, applications request permission from the operating system. For example, a document requests printer access before printing. Release device. After usage, the operating system releases the device so other applications can use it. For example, Printer becomes available after printing is completed. Real-life example. While printing a document, application requests printer access. Operating system sends data to printer. Printer prints the document. Device is released after usage. So, device management system calls help in proper hardware management and prevent device conflicts. Information maintenance system calls. Information maintenance system calls are used to get and update system-related information. These calls help programs access important details about the computer system. Now let us understand the functions. Get system time. This returns the current date and time. For example, displaying the clock on computer screen. Get OS details. This provides information about the operating system. For example, checking Windows version. Get process information. This displays details about currently running applications and processes. For example, Task Manager shows running applications and memory usage. Real-life example. When opening system settings, OS displays version, memory details, system information. Using information maintenance system calls. These system calls help monitor system performance and system status. Communication system calls. Communication system calls are used for communication between processes or computers. This communication is called IPC, inter-process communication. These system calls help processes exchange data and information. Now let us understand its functions. Send messages. One process sends data to another process. Receive messages. Another process receives the incoming data. Share data. Processes can share information with each other. Real-life example. When opening YouTube, browser sends request to YouTube server. Server sends video data back. Browser receives and displays the video. The operating system manages this communication using communication system calls. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Technical EduHub for more technical and educational content. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.